I don't think I've ever been more scared of fire than I am now after seeing this movie. Only the Brave. So Only the Brave is the latest drama to be based on a true story that stars Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, Jeff Bridges and Tyler Kitsch. Or Taylor Kitsch, I'm pretty sure it's Taylor Kitsch. And in this movie we follow the Granite Mountain hotshots who are based in Arizona, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was Arizona. I saw this movie yesterday, so I'm not 100% sure if that is correct, but I'm pretty sure it's Arizona, though I could be wrong. But yeah, it follows this team of firefighters who are basically like brothers for like family, and they become some of the most elite firefighters in the entire country. And while they're out there fighting fires and saving cities and towns, they also have families at home, wives, children. And when they're constantly on the move, moving place to fight these different fires, it can cause a bit of tension in their families. And with all that said, that's basically the main plot points of this movie without giving too much away. I don't want to spoil too much about this movie because the trailer doesn't really reveal too much, unless you know the actual story behind what actually happened to these guys. But I'm not going to say anything else because I want you to go into this movie knowing absolutely nothing like I did. I knew nothing about these guys. I don't live in the US or anything like that, so it wasn't a big story from what I remember anyway. However, it is a very tragic and heartbreaking story which does show the dangers of firefighting. And don't get me wrong, I've always thought that firefighters are some of the bravest people in the entire world, but this movie really shows what they go through and what actually can happen if things go wrong. And the entire cast in this movie did a very good job of making us care about their characters, about drawing us in, making us feel emotionally invested in them. So when they were in danger, we genuinely felt for them. Josh Brolin plays the chief of the entire squad in this movie. He was absolutely fantastic. He stole the entire movie for me personally. You can see that although he is very hard on these guys, he cares about them very, very much. He's much like a father figure to a lot of them. And you can see that he sees himself as that father figure as well because he really does care about them. He cares about their safety. He'll do anything to keep them safe. You've also got Jennifer Connelly who plays his wife, who I thought was great. Their chemistry together was fantastic. I bought into their relationship. And even though there's drama between them both, you can see that they both really do care about each other and they really want to work past it and make their relationship work, which just pulled us in and made us invest more into their relationship as the movie goes on. We also got Jeff Bridges in this movie, who is fantastic. I mean, Jeff Bridges can really do no wrong. The guy's the dude. He's awesome. Again, you see that bond that he has with Josh Brolin's character, which you don't really have with any other character. And because of that, again, it helps us invest more in Josh Brolin's character as well as his own. Then you have Miles Teller, who's the new guy in this group. He's recently had a daughter and all he wants to do is do right by her. He's been on a rocky path in his past, but he's trying to set himself right by joining the firefighters, trying to prove himself as a man that he can do this. And that in itself makes his character very compelling, and Miles Teller did a great job portraying that. The guy continually impresses me the more and more I see him in movies. And finally, Taylor Kitsch, who in other movies I've really just thought is there. He hasn't really stood out to me or anything like that, but in this movie I felt like he gave a fantastic performance. He's the guy who doesn't really warm up to Miles Teller's character at first, but then they form this very strong brotherly bond as the movie goes on. So in that you get to see both of their characters grow and love each other as brothers, and their connection was absolutely fantastic when it got to that point. And Taylor Kitsch gave a fantastic performance in the movie as well. The cinematography of this movie was also great. The movie looked amazing. The directing was great. The score was absolutely fantastic. It definitely added to the more tension-filled moments as well as the more heartbreaking and emotional scenes. And what the movie did very well as well is it made the fire feel like a real threat. It didn't just like make it too over the top where it was ridiculous and like a disaster movie, or to the point where it looked like you could just blow it out and it'd be fine. It really captured how fire works and how it moves and how dangerous it can be if it is out of control. And when you see this fire just moving across the landscape, it is just genuinely terrifying to see, which really puts you on the side of the firefighters. Like, I literally have no idea how they can do that, because that to me, if I saw a big wall of flames just coming towards me, I'd shit myself. That'd be it for me. But these guys stick it through, and this is why they are some of the bravest people in the entire world. My only real flaw with this movie is there are about 20 people who are actually in the Granite Mountain hotshots, and we only really focus on maybe 5 of the characters, or 5 of the real people. And so because of that, we didn't get enough time to emotionally invest with some of the other characters, so that when they were in danger, we weren't as invested in them as we were others. I'm not taking anything away from what any of these guys have done, but it's that the movie focused on these 5 characters more so than others. But by the time the movie had its emotional climax, I wasn't as bothered about certain people as I probably should have been. Granted, what happened was absolutely tragic and it's absolutely heartbreaking to the point where I was almost in tears. I feel like this movie would have had me bawling like a baby, literally crying my eyes out, if it had focused on some of the other characters as well, rather than just the 5 that we actually focus on throughout the entire runtime of the film. And granted, the movie's over 2 hours long as it is, so I understand why they didn't focus so much on these guys. But when you have a movie that is based on them and the entire group, you kind of want to see a bit more with all of them so you can invest in all of them enough to care by the end. end. And unfortunately, it didn't really feel like I got that. It felt like a lot of other characters were pushed to the back to focus on the main five that we actually saw. Like literally, outside of the main five hotshots in this movie, I couldn't tell you anyone else's name, which is a real shame because these guys are genuine heroes and what happened to them was horrible. It was heartbreaking. Overall though guys, this is a very emotionally impactful film that I feel a lot of people will love. Personally, I loved it. I didn't feel like the runtime dragged out at all. It did a good job of developing characters in a certain way. Sure, I wish they focused on a few more characters other than just the main five, but the main five that they did focus on were very well fleshed out. I was hugely emotionally invested in their characters. Everyone in the movie gave fantastic performances. The directing was great. The cinematography looked fantastic. The score was great. I definitely felt the family bond that these guys really had, so it made for a much more emotional impact by the time the movie ended. And so for all those reasons, I'm going to give Only the Brave 4 stars. So, Only the Brave, have you guys seen it yet? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching, you guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.